I know we're here talking about Guardians, but seeing like your next movie is a big superhero movie. How would you describe the emotions you want to invoke with a Superman movie?
I can't say I'm going to, I'm looking for any particular emotions to bring out through Superman, but I don't want it to be unemotional. I don't want it to, deny that we are as human beings emotional characters, and that Superman is also that.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and today we have some very big news about the upcoming Superman project for the new DC universe under the helm of James Gunn and Peter Safran. And Superman Legacy, which has been officially announced as the first new Superman project coming to the new universe for DC, has all eyes on it right now, especially after everything that happened with Black Adam and The Rock bringing back Henry Cavill to play Superman in the DCEU. Henry Cavill was back as Superman. Fans were super excited for him to be back, and then it was announced that he was actually not coming back. He took it upon himself to announce it on Instagram and on Twitter, and James Gunn came out and basically stated that the new Superman that he is going to have in his new DC universe is going to be a younger character. And since then, he has announced that he is going to be writing Superman Legacy and also directing the film as well. So James Gunn is as close as it gets to this Superman project. He is leading DC right now, and he's writing and directing the film. And the big question that fans have been wondering is, who exactly is he going to get to play Clark Kent, Superman? Well, today we have huge news because we have actual official candidates who will be test screening for the role extremely soon. Less than 2 weeks, actually. So let's dive into this new report and see who our new Superman could be. This is coming from Deadline, an exclusive by them, and they are a very respectable and major accredited outlet who give us this news today. They state exclusive. Following months of going through dozens of audition tapes, Warner Brothers and DC Films look to getting closer to finding the stars of its Superman Legacy movie, as a second round of testing looks to be imminent. So let's talk about this first part just real quick. They've been going through audition tapes for months now. They've been looking at a lot of different actors and actresses, actually. In fact, this article mentions Lois Lane and the test screenings for her as well. We'll get to that. But this says they're going into the second round of in-person test screenings. And that's the big point. They're actually narrowing down who they want to play Superman and Lois Lane, and they're really close. The article continues and states, insiders close to the process say the first in-person tests with Warner Brothers execs and DC co-heads Peter Safran and James Gunn, who is writing and directing the pick, will take place around Father's Day weekend or Monday or Tuesday after. So another important thing here, this says that although it's the second testing, it is the first in-person testing, meaning the first test was done via audition tapes. So they communicated with who they liked and asked them to come in, and here are the names of who they asked to come in who could be the future Superman. They say the test screenings will take place around Father's Day weekend or the Monday or Tuesday after, with Nicholas Holt, David Cornswed, and Tom Brittany expected to test for Clark Kent, aka Superman. They then mentioned the three actresses for Lois Lane, but let's go ahead and talk about these actors first. Right away, when you hear all these names, let us know your thoughts about them down below. What do you think? Could one of them be a good Superman? Could they be a great Superman? Because honestly, that's what we're looking for. And they have some pretty big shoes to fill, or a big cape to fill. A lot of people really loved Henry Cavill Superman. Now, right away, no offense to him here whatsoever, but Nicholas Holt, I'm having a hard time picturing it. Maybe it's just because I see him as Beast from the X-Men films. Not sure. And he is a great actor. I have nothing against him whatsoever. I actually really like him. I just don't see Superman. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't bulk up and make his appearance look like Superman / Clark Kent. But I just think that David Cornswed or Tom Brittany would, depending on their acting skills, of course, depending on how they depicted them, would make a better Superman. And speaking of, David Cornswed, I think, really has the look of Superman. In fact, he really looks like he could play a younger Henry Cavill. And if we take a look at this fan art right here by Gustavo Freitas, he looks fantastic as Superman. He really looks the role, and we're going for a young Superman here, according to what James Gunn has said. And as far as looks are concerned, just talking about looks right now, this feels like Superman. Now, of course, also what is equally as important, if not more important, he also does have the acting chops. He's been in a lot, including some big TV shows and movies, and he definitely has what it takes acting-wise to play Superman. So does Nicholas Holt, I would add. But right now, I think David fits the part more as far as the looks department are concerned. And then, as mentioned, we also have Tom Brittany, who I also think has a good Superman look. Now, I think David has the most traditional Superman look, but if James Gunn is going down a route to look a little different than Henry Cavill Superman, or maybe something that's not so traditional, then Tom Brittany might be his choice. However, I must say, with David Cornswed, the fact that he does kind of look like a younger Henry Cavill Superman, that would mean that there is a possibility for a future Superman to be Henry Cavill, perhaps in a future timeline or another universe where Superman is older. And James Gunn did say that he isn't opposed to working with Henry Cavill. He just wants a younger Superman for his new universe. So Henry Cavill could show up as Superman again. And if the current Superman actor kind of resembles him, it makes it a lot easier. So right now, for me, at least personally, David Cornswed would be my choice. But hey, let me know what you think about these three actors down below. Who would make the best Superman to you? Now, moving forward with who they have coming in for Lois Lane, they have Emma Mackey, Rachel Brosnahan, and Phoebe Dynevor. And if I mispronounce some of those, I apologize. But right away, let me know what you think of the choices for these three actresses. Do any of them strike a chord with you? Do any of them speak to you and go, yes, this should be Lois Lane? Please let us know that in the comments down below. Now here, if we are going for a more traditional Lois Lane comic look, I would have to say Emma Mackey or Rachel Brosnahan probably look more along the lines of a traditional comic Lois Lane. However, I am a fan of Phoebe Dynevor. And all that she would have to do is dye her hair black to fit the role, or maybe even not. Sometimes she does kind of have strawberry blonde hair, and the last Lois Lane had red hair, so it could definitely work. And I would have to say that Amy Adams didn't look like a traditional Lois Lane, and they went with that. So any of these actresses I think would be fine, provided that they do an excellent job with the role. And we know that James Gunn isn't going to cast anybody that he doesn't think is perfect for this role. He's already expressed several times that this project means a lot to him. He's very emotionally attached to this project, so it's going to be kind of his baby. He's going to put a lot of care into this, and that includes who he is going to cast to play Clark Kent, aka Superman, and Lois Lane. If I had to pick a personal pairing of who would look good with each other, I would have to pick David Cornswed and Phoebe Dynevor, and those are my top choices, but I do also think that they actually would probably look the best together as well. But of course, please let us know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest DC and Superman news. We're also doing a giveaway, giving away a PS5, an Xbox Series X, some DC items, or some Marvel Legends items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. All you have to do to enter is subscribe and leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.